And I can go on and on. Then you got some people here from Flint.
All right.
That's always coming up here to be a part of the fight here, but we're going to have to reverse this struggle at time and take our old tired behinds up to Flint and help out. Right, Clara? And then we got some old folks that have rejoined the movement, and I saw them this morning, and I said, and that's part of my family. I said, what y'all doing here? They said, we came to find out what's going on. They know what's going on. They know it's time that we need their brains and expertise to get out here in this fight. I know they can't move as fast as they used to, but they can be out here. And that's some of these old folks on the front row over here, Cass and Dwayne. And I love to call y'all out Ann and Ann. And then we got these young folks over here like Darnell. And see, I like to put them out on Front Street where you understand who they are. And that you might not see them up here speaking sometimes, because when you ask them to speak, they'll run for the door. But let me tell you you know what I want to talk about. See, because I don't have that kind of faith in democracy under this government that you have. But you know I'm going to swing with you. When you're looking at the statistics that they take to describe what we are facing out here, you know it's a lie. Because you know darn well it's more than 7.4% of the population on the national level that's unemployed. You know there are people out here that have never been able to return to work from the 80s.
That's right.
Because what replaced them?
Robot.
Electronics. Now, are we against electronics? Hell no. It's who controls that we're against. Because I tell people all the time I'm waiting on my electronic maid. And I'm going to treat that machine right. I'm going to keep it oiled up and everything else to be able to keep me to flourish out here also. But you know, technology, we don't control. So when we talk about democracy, which you know I'm right there with her, until we began to get in these trenches and began to keep going deep, like she's saying, in these communities, because that's where our trenches are.
That's right. That's right.
And began to start understanding that this government do not represent our interests, and that the corporations and the government has moved together for the benefit of the corporations, then our strategy and tactics going to reflect what we understand. Voting is a tool. The way the capitalist class used to see where we are a lot of times. But we got to turn it into for our benefit. When people, now let me use one example. When people didn't get out here and didn't understand who Monica Patrick was, it's because a lot of us did not understand who Monica Patrick was. Monica was not representing herself. She was representing all our interests, and her heart is always be open for an education. She don't turn down nothing. You know, but we have to teach folks why we vote in order for us to be able to show our power and to be able to take some power. Now, they pulled a fast one on us this last time. Dugan didn't have to ask for no publicity. Because they kept him in the forefront of us. Now, who was that talking about TV? Yeah. They had him spelling his name, knowing how to say that little thing. He didn't have, it was all free publicity. Oh, and by the way, we do have people here from Pontiac, y'all. All right. We need to move up front so we can see you. But we have to understand what we are facing politically in order to understand that we got to change this economic system. And we have to understand that this is not it. Look, it was several of us in here that was in that civil rights movement. And I'll never forget the days in jail, because I didn't consider in the civil rights movement being in jail or being a vacation. These days I go to jail and I try to get a vacation, but they don't want to arrest us no more. I mean, if Helen and I have to sit on the floor again and wait for somebody to come pick us up and they keep saying we're not going to arrest you, y'all better have a stick and somebody else to pull up us on that floor, because it's hard, Miss Nina, getting up off that floor, right? But you have to understand that the people that we also have to grind among are some of the hardest people that don't understand what's going on. Is it their fault? No. We have all these young families being eliminated from public assistance. And that was under a Democratic president. Oh, Boogaloo horn playing Clinton.
That's right.
Womanizing Clinton.
That's right.
Was the one that put that time limitation in there. And all Snyder had to do was slide right on in and implement it. And he's been constantly cutting families off ever since he's been in there. And changing the laws, and those ignorant judges sitting on those benches have not protected our constitutional right the way they should have. We should have been storming that. But let me tell you, you can't get mad at the working class people working, unemployed, or what. There are a lot of folks out here to keep us divided.
That's right.
I fight, when I go to the union hall, I talk about it. And I still love them, but I'm going to still knock them upside the head. And all these pimps in the pulpit. The ministers we know, this man stays in jail with us. I remember saying, bro, he's driving us insane. He's supposed to be resting for 4 weeks, 6 weeks. And every other day, he was back in the hospital. We didn't say for you to go and get yourself together to end up staying in the hospital. But those are the kind of ministers that we know. Those are the kind of ministers I want them in the trenches with me. But we're going to have to stand up in some of these ministers. Building all these monuments to them.
That's right.
That's why I know a lot of them don't want me in their pulpits. Because a lot of their members are some of our members.
That's right.
They won't take a stand against DTE. And DTE is constantly making a profit off of our backs. They won't take a stand to go out there and try to educate those sisters and brothers that are living, be they black, white, green, or yellow, in English village. And tell them that it's your duty to help this family to move into those vacant houses. And stop taking our federal funds to move people in there that look like you and that type of stuff. They pushing those families. We move them in, they push them out. But they're using federal funds, y'all. And poverty is constantly creeping in on them also, because they're going to be some of the same families that are going to be knocking on our door wanting some help also. I see you there. I got to check you. I want to say that not only is poverty constantly creeping out here, and one of the main things we need housing. We've been in there. What, Jerry? We've been fighting for houses. My God, I should know how to get in every house out here. And we all tried. And now the water. They're taking our water, y'all. They transferred Highland Park water to Detroit without us even knowing.
Yes, they did.
And they are setting us up to take our houses in Highland Park and our water. And you know they don't care about our children being educated. They just like Hitler. burning the books. But I want to remind y'all a couple of things I do want to leave y'all with, because we can have a class here today. You have to understand the role of the emergency manager. The emergency manager is a part of fascism. Now, I'm not talking about fascism that Hitler was under, because they needed the fascism to expand their Germany and all the stuff. Right now, they need fascism to try to keep us in chains again for the benefit of the corporations. Because if they don't need your behind to work, they don't need to help you get fed. They don't want you to have a house. And then you got the nerve to be talking about universal health care. You don't need to live. And they don't care if you don't believe me. Look at the profits they still making on. Henry Ford ain't missed a beat when it comes down to that hospital over there. And they constantly expanding. And look at the school system. You want to cry. Highland Park, all the schools are chartered. All of them. And what we're talking about, even out of the great city of Highland Park, and I know we're the capital of Detroit. That's right. We're calling a summit. And this summit is because we are suffering over there. This summit is for every city, every school district that have had to live up on an emergency financial manager, under an emergency manager. We need to come together and begin to get some strategy for the state. And we don't need to leave none of these cities, townships, school districts out. And that's going to probably be held right here in Detroit. Just the one. We don't need but a one day. And the purpose is not only we come out with that strategy, because I'm telling you, I don't know about you, but I'm not going to lay down and let them take our water. Not only our water, they took too much from us. And it's all up to us, and we need to stop sitting back thinking that somebody going to ride in and save us. Because all of us are leaders in here. We're going to save, and we're going to save ourselves. We're going to have to break down this whole vision that constantly exists between the community and organized labor. We're going to have to break down the division in some of these churches and understand that your brick and mortar don't mean nothing to me if you're not participating in these fights out here. Because if we have to go and picket some of these churches, we need to. Because the same congregation that we have to deal with 5 days a week are in there trying to support that religious institution. We're going to have